I would quickly like to demonstrate making a pull request on JCB, Joomla Component Builder. Of course, be sure that you fork or are on the latest update. If you previously forked it and like me you are very far behind, then there's a little bit more house cleaning to do before you can make a pull request. You need to first bring this staging branch into sync with the upstream. So let me quickly do that in demonstration as well. First of all, you obviously need to clone your version down to your local repository on your computer. So I'm going to do that first. So here I have my terminal open, and I'm basically going to do git clone and then go back here and copy the, because I'm using private keys, I'm going to use this option and paste that in there, and I want the repository to be placed into a folder called JCB and enter. This would clone my current version in my GitHub account down to my desktop. So now I will change into that repository by going change directory, JCB, enter, and if I do git log one-liner, I see, okay, I'm still on this version here. I'm way behind, so I need to update my repository. So how to do that? Well, GitHub has these nice documentations for doing this. If you Google it, you probably find this: working with forks, configuring remote for a fork. And so we're gonna just add in our upstream by following this tutorial. Yeah, this is the URL you like to get to. I just googled how to upstream, how to sync with upstream repository, and found this. Okay, so to get out of the log, remember we looked at the log here. To get out of that, just press Q, and then I pasted in this git remote -v to see the versions that is there currently, and we want to add the remote or the upstream version, which really is actually going to just take a line like this. So you would basically copy up to there, because we want to add our own URL there. And I'm just using a text document here to help me build this up. So like that, then I go back to GitHub and I actually go to the upstream branch. Yes, this is the, and then I copy this one and go back to my text editor and just paste that in. So this is the whole line we want, and we copy that and go back to here and paste that in and enter. That should, if we do the remote view now again, we see now there's this upstream been added as a branch, and that's exactly what you'd like. So going back to our tutorial here, we can now sync a fork with the next by doing this following function: get fetch upstream. Now if you've made changes to your branch, you probably run into some complexity which isn't ideal. So what I would usually do is I would reset my current repository to a version, let's say this one here, where the branch isn't changed. Obviously you're going to lose your changes when you do that, but you would either have to copy your changes out and then reset to this, then sync it with the upstream, and then re-implement your changes with a commit, which means you should always try and stay in sync with the upstream. Whenever you make a change to your repository, always sync first, do a upstream pull. So since I am not out of sync in terms of I haven't changed the branch, I'm just able to do the sync option, which would be simply this fetch upstream. Now actually I don't like that option. I like to just do a pull, but let's follow this tutorial, and it probably be the best choice. Okay, so we'll do get fetch upstream, and it was going to get us the current versions and everything into this repository. It will obviously place it into a branch called upstream, and it's different branches. It's got assistant, master, staging, and all these tags. Okay, so then we could do the checkout master, where in this case we don't want to do master, we want to do staging. So sorry, wrong one. We're gonna go check out staging, and then it says we're already on the staging. Great stuff. Then we're gonna do a merge with upstream, and just change this again to staging. So let's do that. Merge upstream staging, and it will merge these two branches into one. If you now do a get log one-liner, you should see that you're up to date the current branch to this latest. And the way to confirm this would be simply to go to the main branch and look, what is this number here, 477, and if we open here, this should be the same. Okay, so we're up to date. So at this stage your branch is ready, and when you click quit Q, sorry, and get status, it should say that everything is clean and well. And you obviously, when you make a commit to JCB, we're only allowing commits or pull requests to be made to the staging branch. We will then eventually merge it into the master branch. So you can't make a pull request to the master branch, but to the staging branch, and this is very important. Okay, so now at this point, if you be kind enough to put your changes back into the repository. So for our purpose, I'm just going to make a little change to the README file so we could see this in action. So I'm going to say demo, like that, capital, pull request. I'm going to delete this again, so no worries, and save that. Now if I go to the Git repository and I say Git status, it'll tell me that I made a change to the README file, right? So now here I do git commit and am for the message, and I say quick pull request demonstration, enter. And if I do git log one-liner, I see there's my little change being added. Now I do git push, just like that, because it's going to push by default to my fork on GitHub. So you see that as well, it's pushed to my own fork. Now if I go to GitHub now at this point and I go back to my own branch, you'd see that if I refresh this, let's see, you'd see that it says that it's one push ahead of staging branch, and it shows you that as well, what the quick pull request demonstration. So this is what it should say. It should say that you're ahead. It should not say that you're behind. This is quite important. Then you simply click here on pull request, and this would take you to another page where you need to make sure that the base repository is the actual main repository of JCB, and that it's the correct branch, your repository and the correct branch, and then you'd click on create pull request. In this process you're going to be asked, so this is the only change we made, right? So in the process you're going to be asked about why the pull request is being made, and so forth and so forth. You just fill in all that information like you would with a normal issue. And once you've made that pull request, you basically put the ball into our court, and we're gonna take it from there and discuss the changes. And if there are any issues, probably would help set it up straight. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope this is helpful.